Like, if I didn't do this work that I've been doing and get me to where I am right now, I could have allowed that thought to manifest and not be here before you today. That's the power of reframing. Because when I recognize, hey, I'm having this thought, but this thought is contrary to everything that I've already shown myself to be capable of doing, therefore, thought, let it come and let it pass. I will not allow that thought to manifest into an action that does not bring me to where I need to be. Good morning. Y'all know what it is. Welcome to the Conscious Courage Podcast. I am your host, Davone'a Tashae, and I am just too hyped to be here on this. Sing it with me. Motivational Monday. Let's go, y'all. Every Monday, we dive into empowering topics that foster our growth in our journey towards inner healing as well as growth. All right. From the inside out, or what I like to call our internal glow up. We want to radiate from the inside on out. Whether you're a first-time listener, congratulations. You are officially an IGU baby. What does IGU stand for? Internal glow up. Y'all get it. It's only episode 2. But if you've been around, then you already should have known. But you are officially an IGU baby. Speaking, if you've been around, thank you if you're here and you've been listening and you've been watching and you've been singing Motivational Monday. I greatly appreciate you, y'all. We are only going up from here. Don't forget, before I get all into the topic, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. By that way, you get notifications of all uploads. Also, share this video with 3 to 5 of your loved ones, your friends, your exes. Everybody can use that internal glow up, okay? We are all working to be our most healed and whole self in this journey called life. On this side of the dash, okay? It's about what we did on this side of the dash. Now, without further ado, let me put this into your memory. Episode 2 is as the title says. We are focusing in on self-limiting beliefs. Self-limiting beliefs. We want to overcome those. So in this episode, we will explore examples of self-limiting beliefs that can potentially, or that does, hinder us in our personal growth as well as acceptance of new opportunities. Because what is our topic for the month of April? Birth. And what are we birthing? New opportunities. And how can we prepare ourselves to receive those new opportunities? By doing the work. And what is the work? The internal glow up. And what are we working on? Our mind and as well as our hearts, or our thoughts as well as our emotions. We can say it that way also. Okay, anything in life, what's our first step? Recognizing it. When an individual attends like Alcohol Anonymous, for an example, what potentially could be the first area that they address, and that is recognizing. It's that self-awareness that we are cultivating in this community of internal glow up IGU babies. Okay. And so let's recognize that we have self-limiting beliefs that we should work on overcoming and that we can work on overcoming. So there are 2 examples I want to give you. First, real time this year, as soon as I made the thought to invest in myself and join the 7-figure podcast group, hey y'all, and to do the work, to get the information, to employ and take my content to the next level, not simply making videos and uploading them to get you the information, which has always been my heart desire, but to bring you something that is pleasing to the eye, to also go forth and make this information available on not just YouTube, not simply posting on the other social media platforms, which there's nothing wrong with that, but also expanding further into Spotify and other areas. Guess what my thought was? You don't have the time. There's no way. You're not going to have the time to make these recordings. There's no way you can have the time. And then I had to think, well, if I've been making the time in 2020, 2022, I made some more, and then I fell off. And then 2023, when I started back mid-2023, And I still manage to have content with all of these other responsibilities, or not have, but make that content. So why wouldn't I have time to do what I've been doing and what I love, only at a higher scale? I had to have this conversation with myself. And so I had to be intentional and recognize that is a limiting belief. That is a self-limiting belief that no one on the outside put on me. That was a conversation with me. So that's just one example on how being aware of my thoughts. If you go back to episode 1, when I gave the example of reframing our thoughts, right? We start off with a thought, there's an emotion attached to it, and then after that emotion, there's an action. So imagine that thought I had of, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have the time to do this, turn to an emotion of disbelief or depression or anxiety, and I allowed it to overwhelm me. And instead of, in my action may look like, well, I'm just not going to do it. The devil is a lie. And he's the father of them. And you know what we do with liars. They go underneath our feet. The devil is under my feet. And yours too. Stomp on his head. Stomp on his head. Like, if I didn't do this work that I've been doing and get me to where I am right now, I could have allowed that thought to manifest and not be here before you today. That's the power of reframing. Because when I recognize, hey, I'm having this thought, but this thought is contrary to everything that I've already shown myself to be capable of doing, therefore, thought, let it come and let it pass. I will not allow that thought to manifest into an action that does not bring me to where I need to be. Okay? That's an example, but I had to be aware of that thought and where it could have taken me, which was not here right now. The second example I want to give you is there are times when we have limiting thoughts toward ourselves, but it's not because of us. Like the first example I gave you was a me versus me thought. There are other times when people might plant a seed of disbelief. You may have been told some negative, nasty words as you were growing up, and I have about 7 examples that we are going to touch on in this topic of self-limiting beliefs, and they've stuck with you. And they are in your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind, and you unknowingly, unconsciously are acting from those words that were planted or placed in you at a young age because of your environment, potential toxic environment, potential toxic adoptive parent, foster parents. We are going to just go in on all this. It may not be in this particular episode, but you stick with me. Every Monday, 6 a.m., bringing you something new. We will tackle that area. You can always leave in the comments something you want me to address, or you can send me an email, which I will provide at the end of this video. Okay? Second example, this is in my military service when I was enlisted pursuing to commission. Now I am a commission officer, but at that time I was pursuing, and it was maybe 2020. Let me put this in your hearing. In 2020, I didn't share this in episode 1. When the gentleman that I was engaged to and I separated, that really fueled me. Like, I went after everything I said I wanted to go after. It just fueled me to go after everything and then some. Unpause. So I say that because in pursuing my journey to commission, there was an office I was in. And at that time, I heard that leader gave an opportunity to an enlisted member who had commissioned elsewhere to fulfill an officer position in that unit. So I was like, oh, great. I have my AFOQT done. I want to commission. I'm going to ask this leader if she is willing for me to commission underneath her leadership. Leader never responded back to me. Instead, the leader sent the email to a chief, and then that chief wrote me. And no, I don't think he wrote me. I think we had a conversation either over the phone or in person. Or maybe he wrote me. I can't remember. Either way it goes, we had a conversation. And he wanted to let me know about the customs and courtesies and like using the chain of command. In the military, that simply means, let's say you are a secretary, you have a supervisor, and then you have a boss. The chain of command, as the secretary, you should go to your supervisor, and then your supervisor will go to the boss. Or your supervisor will give you the authority to go and speak to the boss. So in this case, I went directly to the boss. I didn't think it was any harm, any foul, because I work directly with this person all of the time, and this person gave an opportunity to someone else. I'm just seeking the same opportunity. Well, should have went about it a different way. Okay, I'll take that. The second point, this individual who was a chief, that's an E9, for just simply using the grade in case you're not aware, and I'm in the Air Force, so Chief Master Sergeant, shared with me that his pursuit of commissioning did not come to pass and that it would be hard for me to gain a commission from a base that I'm not assigned at. So he's just giving me some nuggets, right, based off of his experience. Dramatic pause on purpose, because there are times when someone else will speak to you from their experience, from what they know to be true. And it could, if you allow it, plant seeds of limitation, because I could have allowed what he said to keep me from applying to commissioning opportunities outside of the base where I was assigned. But because I've done the work that I've done, let me tell you, I did not allow that to keep me from applying to any and every opportunity that might arise, okay? I had to get serious there. So, with that being said, y'all, not only did I get an opportunity to, actually my first opportunity to interview for a commissioning position, guess what? That opportunity was not at the base I was assigned at. Gratefully, a lieutenant colonel that I've worked with previously, who knew my goal of commissioning, told me or informed me about a commissioning opportunity that came up at a base where he was assigned. Applied. Got selected for that board. Now, because I am a woman who doesn't put all her eggs in one basket, the same time I had applied to that commissioning opportunity, I had started an application process for another board. And this was at the headquarters Air Force Reserve Command level. So by the time I received my selection for the first board, I was interviewing for the second board. I didn't say anything. Didn't say nothing. Guess what, y'all? I ended up being selected for the second board. Praise God. Somebody say favor. Write favor in the comments. I know we not live, but I need to see favor in the comments anyway. Slide favor in my DMs anyway. Like, come on, y'all. Favor. This is why it's important not to allow the words of what someone else says, the experiences of someone else, to move you in a direction in which you now have a self-limiting belief because of someone else's experience. Because what someone else experienced doesn't have to be your experience. What someone else has endured doesn't have to be what you endure. My ear itching, y'all. Ear itch break. No. So, hear me. I'm sorry if anyone told you that you wouldn't make it. I apologize on their behalf. I apologize for anyone who has planted a seed telling you that you would not amount to anything, anyone who said that you were worthless, anyone who has judged you or discriminated against you because the color of your skin or the lack thereof you may have in a logo, and so therefore your pigmentation is starting to leave you and people are judging you for it. I apologize if someone judges you for your strong accent and therefore they told you that you couldn't be successful. I apologize to you. And I ask and I beg you not to allow the words of another individual to produce a limiting thought to you. You can and you will achieve what you put your mind to, but not only what you put your mind to, what you work toward. Okay, that was nowhere in my notes, y'all. I told you I had a list of some limiting beliefs, some common limiting beliefs, and we're going to go through these together, okay? And if you identify with these, don't worry, we're doing the work in this month to prepare our minds to release those areas. And this is a lifetime. I don't expect for you by the 5th Monday of this month, because there's 5 Mondays this month, okay? I don't expect for you to have reframing down to a science by the 5th Monday of April. But I do have an expectation that you will work on your self-awareness. I have that expectation of you, not just for the month of April, but for the entire duration that you are an IGU baby. And if you decide to depart early, for the entire duration of your life, okay? Now, number 1, I'm not good enough. This belief could have manifested as feelings of inadequacy or a low self-esteem. This could show up in your life as being doubtful of not allowing yourself to truly experience happiness, of self-sabotaging. And all of this can prevent you from pursuing new opportunities and taking risk. There are healthy risks out there to take. It doesn't mean walk away from your job because you started a podcast, okay? That's not a healthy risk. That's not wisdom. But it could look like for you choosing to move out of a toxic environment, choosing to get out of a toxic relationship, and that may look like saving a little bit of your check at a time. That may look like reaching out to someone for help. That may look like saying, family, I have an addiction problem, okay? And speaking up isn't taking a risk to some, but speaking up is taking a risk to others, because the consequence of that you may feel is judgment, because the consequence of that you may feel is backlash. For those who have been in a domestic violence relationship, the consequence of that could be physical. Have the courage to take the risk. Example number 2, fear of failure. Imagine if I did not start this podcast in an official capacity because I was afraid to fail. We spoke about fear in episode 1. God did not give us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, to the point of fearing failure. People will hold back from trying something new or an ambitious goal because they feel afraid to fail. It's a feeling. But it's a feeling rooted by a thought. So where's your thought? If you automatically think I'm going to fail, if you automatically think this will not work, then you manifest fear, and then the action is you don't take action. And that's what we do not want. The fear of failure can paralyze an individual. It can keep you stuck in the comfort zone. You got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's where you grow. And it can also prevent you from reaching your full potential. We don't want that in 2024. We got to go after everything in 2024, okay? Number 3, you don't feel as if you deserve success. When I did reach the opportunity and achieve commissioning, I battled with imposter syndrome. Like, I don't really know if I should be here. I don't really know if I should have a seat at the table. I don't really know. What don't you really know? Because I know my reason of commissioning was to be a voice to the voiceless, was to have that seat at the table in order to bring about the change and be the leader that I did not have in situations when I needed one. So what didn't I know? Come on now. Self-talk. Some individuals struggle with feelings of guilt or self-doubt, believing that they don't deserve to achieve their goal or to be happy. This can be, let's say as a child, your parent made you feel as if, well, if you move away from home, you're leaving me. They baited you with, how do I word this? They baited you with manipulation and made you feel like choosing your goal, choosing your dream, choosing to start that family, choosing to go after what it is that you want to go after was a negative thing. And so it developed over time, might even look like a people pleaser. I'm a recovering people pleaser, so I can say that. And now you don't have the belief that you can go out and be happy in that relationship, in that position, in that new city, in that new home, in that new town, just living up the street by yourself because of what was planted later or earlier on in your life. So know that the thought of I don't deserve success can come from others, and this can lead to a lack of confidence as well as self-sabotaging behaviors, and we don't want that. And as time goes on, we will definitely tackle self-sabotage. We will definitely tackle increasing our confidence, because these are areas that I've worked on and I will continue to work on, because we should always look to be growing. All right, let's go on into number 4. I am too young. I am too old. What? Age-related self-limiting beliefs can affect an individual at any stage of life. Look, y'all, I ain't gonna tell y'all my age, but I ain't in my 20s anymore. I am not in my 20s anymore. But imagine if I told myself, well, because I'm no longer in my 20s, that means I can't blank. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not going out like I was when I was in my 20s, but I can still, I don't know, I can't hang. I was gonna say I can hang. I can't hang, y'all. I need a nap. I need to be in the bed around 8:30. Like, don't even think about that example because it didn't get us anywhere. But let me say this. The woman that I saw when I went to counseling for that one time when I got out of my engagement, as I shared in episode 1. So if you want to know more about that, go listen to episode 1. Do that. Go on back. She shared with me she was a hairdresser and that she provided counseling services in the capacity of a hairdresser. People would tell her stuff. She would give them advice, blah, 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 which led her to pursuing her degree in counseling. And she went back to school in her 60s, y'all. Imagine if she thought, I can't do this. I'm too old. What? Imagine if there is a young woman, and I don't know the name of her business. I don't know her name, but I remember seeing a post several years ago, or maybe a few years ago. I'm not that old out here, okay? A few years ago, and she created honey. Imagine if she said she was too young. Imagine if her parents told her she was too young to have that dream of business ownership. Some people may believe that they are too old or that they are too young to pursue new opportunities or make significant changes, while others may feel too young and inexperienced to succeed. That is not true. It just isn't true. Number 5, I'm too smart. I'm not smart. I'm not talented enough. This belief revolves around the idea that success is reserved for those who are naturally gifted or exceptionally talented or intelligent. Individuals may hold on to this belief and underestimate what it is they have to bring. You may underestimate what it is you have to bring to the table. Your experiences matter as well. Diversity and inclusion. A lot of people look at diversity and inclusion as black, white. No, diversity and inclusion is diversity in thought, diversity in experience, diversity in talents and gifts, and including those individuals, okay? If you ever find yourself in this area, you want to, or I would encourage you, I never tell people what they should or shouldn't do, but I would encourage you to look at the areas where you have been successful and the things you have accomplished well, and let that boost your esteem. And then go after what it is that you feel like you cannot do. Sometimes you just have to prove to yourself, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. The same way I had to do. Hey, I can do this podcast. I've been making recordings. Why can't I do it now? The difference is I have a mic. I might be on a different couch, you know what I'm saying? But I'm still out here giving the information. I can do this. Number 6, you may have a fear that you will be judged or criticized. People pleaser. We're not worried about what other people have to say. We're not worried about that. You're going to take the risk. You're going to be authentically you, and you're going to be successful at it, whatever that is. That is a negative evaluation that can prevent you from stepping out and getting out of that comfort zone that I mentioned earlier. We're not doing that. We're walking in what it is that we want. Amen? Amen. You may think you don't have number 7. You may think you don't have enough time or enough money. Be intentional. Be intentional. Start with what you do have. Don't allow external factors that may not really be prevalent to hold you back. Now, money, there's grants. Maybe you reach out to a family member for a loan or a grant or a gift. Your birthday time, ask for some gift cards, some Visa gift cards. By that way, you can use the money the way you see fit, okay? And if there's time, then just work on your time management, carving time out. There are 2 things that I'm going to make work for me. I'm going to make my money work for me, and I'm going to make my time work for me, okay? Because time is limited. There's 24 hours. Money potentially is unlimited if you do what you need to do with it, okay? And if you make it do what it needs to do. I'm just saying. But don't prevent yourself. Find alternative solutions. One thing that I've learned and I'm grateful for in my military service is we don't talk about the problem, baby. Bring me solutions. What's the solution, all right? Prioritizing what matters also. Get your needs versus your wants written down and figuring that stuff out. Thank y'all. Look, being with me, then you know where we about to go into right now. And if you knew, let me share with you. Practical steps. I want you to walk away and say, wow, I can implement that in my life right now, today. Not tomorrow, a month from now, a year, right now. So first, you have to identify what those challenging and those negative thoughts are. And I went over that in episode 1, so I won't spend too much time here. But what that can look like is being aware of your self-limiting beliefs and paying attention to your thoughts. Underscore self-awareness, okay? Being one with your mind. You can get to that point in meditation where you're just spending time with yourself. When I say meditation, I'm not talking about hymns, humming, levitating, projecting into other places. Like, I'm not talking about all that. I'm saying being quiet and listening with your thoughts. See what comes to mind. Just turn everything off and see what goes on up in here. Because there are times when I'm so busy. Who knows? As I mentioned in episode 1, we have over 70,000 thoughts a day. I'm busy. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. Only thing that's going on in my mind is checklist. Then just comes around bedtime. All of a sudden, I'm thinking back on something that happened a month ago and how I could have said this, done that, reacted in this way. Just, what? No, we're not doing that, okay? Being aware of those thoughts. But because I'm aware and I allow myself to be present, I can cast down those false imaginations, as the word says, all right? I can be conscious with my inner dialogue. I can let myself know, hey, you can make this podcast, although there's a part of your brain that is trying to talk you out of it. I'm bringing y'all this content because we're getting our internal glow up on every single day. In particular, every Monday at 6 a.m. on all social media platforms. Another thing that you can do is ask yourself questions. I talked about this in episode 1. We're still in the first practical step, and that is this valid? Do I really have evidence to support what it is that I'm thinking? Okay, let's get on into practical step number 2, replacing that negative self-talk with affirmations. I am whole, I am healed, I am alive, I am well, I am blessed, I am victorious, I am the head and not the tail. I will overcome anything that comes to me today. I am a king, I am a queen, I am the lender and not the borrower. I am more than enough. I am full of love, peace, and happiness. It's not enough just to say it. You want to feel it. You want to see it, okay? And you want to be it. I will do something positive today. I will have positive thoughts today. I will make a new friend or a new acquaintance today. I will talk to someone new today. I will give onto the poor today. You will make a kind act. You will intentionally eliminate the self-limiting beliefs by way of promoting confidence and empowerment by what? Affirmations. Let me share with you that repeating your affirmations, you can go online and find affirmations. You can Google it, go to YouTube videos. There are affirmations that you can play while you sleep, etc. But repeating these affirmations, what you're doing psychologically, right? Because we like to talk about the psyche of a person. You are rewiring your brain and those neurons, and you're reinforcing more positive beliefs over time. Again, this takes work. I don't want you to walk away from episode 2 or episode 5, because we have 5 Mondays in April, and go, I don't see a difference. Are you applying the work? Are you doing the work? I promise you, you will see a shift. Give yourself time. Give yourself grace. Give yourself patience. I guarantee that as we continue to walk with one another, that you will get that internal glow of that begins to show from the inside on out. I guarantee it. Okay, our third practical step, y'all, behavioral experiment and evidence gathering. In this experiment, I want you to gather evidence that supports or refutes your negative thoughts toward yourself. Okay, gather the evidence. As I alluded to earlier, that will look like, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. 1, we're taking can't out of the vocabulary. 2, if you think you can't do a thing, then take the time to show yourself and prove to yourself when you were able to do X, Y, and Z, and allow that to motivate you and propel you and be your fuel to go after the thing you're saying that you cannot do. Bonus, somebody say bonus. So in this bonus, I have some additional practical steps that I will provide you with. We're going to get into those daily affirmations. We're going to use some scripture, Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. We're going to look at Mark chapter 9, verse 23. With God, all things are possible. Okay, these are your 2 scriptures for the next, I was going to say 7 days because we'll meet again in 7 days, but I want you to do this and then leave in the comment section on the 5th post of this month, okay, That should be April 27th, I believe, and share how that impacted your life thus far. We're going to continue to do the work, but I just want an update. Okay, that last Monday of April. In addition to this, you can create the SMART goals. I've spoke about SMART goals before. You want your goal to be specific. You want it to be measurable. All right. You want it to be achievable. You want it to be relevant, and you want it to have a set time. So your SMART goal for the month of April, as we're going after birthing and preparing ourselves for new opportunities, is to have a specific goal. I just gave you 2 scriptures I want you to read every single day. Okay, we're making it measurable every single day. We're making it achievable. It's 2 scriptures every day before you get out there. You're also going to profess some I am affirmations. It's going to be relevant to you. That's why you have to do the work and figure out, okay, where are these limiting thoughts at, and shift your verbiage to be the opposite of that, empowering to that area. And I gave you the time that I need you to give me an update, the 5th Monday of this month, okay? Now, that's all I have for you in this episode. This is episode 2 of the Conscious Courage podcast. Today's focus was on overcoming self-limiting beliefs, all right? If you like what you heard, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, to hit the bell button so you get reminders as the channel grows, as will my information grow. I'll go from Monday posts only to every 2nd and 4th Wednesday, bringing you all something quite delicious and delectable, okay? Just got to make sure my schedule, I got to make sure it's a SMART goal so that I can meet that requirement and get you the information. We're here every single Monday, 6 a.m., bright and early, every Monday, y'all, on all social media platforms. Your girl's going to find her way on Spotify, so then you can listen to me serenade you with this information. I thank you for tuning in today's episode, only 2 of many more to come. If you enjoyed what you heard, again, go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and not just me. Thumbs up because you're going to do the work for yourself. So thumbs up to you. Share this content with 3 to 5 of your loved ones, your friends, your family members. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the message of empowerment and self-discovery far and wide, all right? Until next time, stay courageous, stay conscious, and keep glowing from within. Take care. I will see y'all next Monday. Disclaimer: as a content creator with a background in psychology and ongoing studies in mental health clinical counseling at the graduate level, it is important to clarify that I am not a licensed professional, okay, y'all? The videos and podcasts I produce are intended for educational, entertainment, and transformational purposes only. While I strive to provide accurate information and insight, it's essential to consult with a licensed mental health professional for clinical perspectives and personalized advice tailored to your specific needs. Your mental well-being is the utmost importance to me, and seeking guidance from a qualified provider is encouraged for any concerns or issues that you may be experiencing.